got the magic in me.
My name is Alex, and today I will be doing some ThermoMagic to show you what heat transfer is and how it's explained by the first law of thermodynamics and the ideal gas law. The equations we'll be using today are Q minus W is equal to delta U and PV is equal to nRT. So I did a few trials and I'll only be showing you some of them and explain the errors or the trials that I completely failed at towards the end of the video and why I didn't think they worked. My first trial, I used paper towels, a small, more spherical cup, and a non-stick cookie sheet tray. So first you're gonna wet the paper towel with water, and this is gonna create a sort of seal between the tray. You light the candle and put a cup over it so that the system is sealed and no air comes in. The light extinguishes and the cup acts like a suction cup, being able to lift things.
Time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants to blast the magic, 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 oh, I got the magic in me.
Check that out, let tempo blow your mind. Pick a verse, any verse, I hypnotize you with every line. I'll need a volunteer, how about you with the eyes? Come on down to the front, stand right here and don't be shy. I have you time traveling, have your mind babbling. People trying to inherit the skills, so they asking it. Even David Blaine had to go and take some classes, and I see mind freak like, what's up, man, what's happening? So come on, come on, and see the show tonight. Prepare to be astounded, no ghost or poltergeist. You know I'm no Pinocchio, I never told a lie. So call me Mr. Magic Man, I float on cloud nine.
I got the magic in me.
I got the magic, baby.
Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold.
Yes, it turns to gold.
Everybody knows I got the magic in me.
I got the magic, baby.
When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me.
They be snapping,
Now
baby.
everybody wants to blast the magic, 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 oh, I got the magic in me.
We'll take a journey into my mind. You'll see why it's been in my rhyme. Stay on the road, so I call my mama when I got time. I hit the stage, go insane, and jump into that crowd. See when I rhyme, I flow, wanna beat like put it da. See, I deceive you with my intergalactic ether. I sing just like Aretha, so respect me like I'm Caesar. I kick it like Adidas, blowing sticky like adhesive. Be cautious, cause what I be gonna leave you with amnesia. I break all the rules like Evo Knievel. It's a spectacular show, cause my heart pumps diesel. So whatever you saying, it don't entertain my ego. I do this every day, hocus pocus is my stilo.
Magic in me.
I got the magic, baby.
Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold.
Yes, it turns to gold.
Everybody knows I got the magic in me.
I got the magic, baby.
When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me.
They be snapping,
Now
baby.
everybody wants to blast the magic, 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 oh, I got the magic in me.
For the third trial, I used a glass plate, a heavier cup, and paper towels. I used a heavier cup so that maybe it would be able to lift something heavier, but no matter how wet the paper towel was, I wasn't even able to lift the plate long enough. The fourth trial with the tissue paper, I used the same plate and the same cup, but the trial was a total fail because the seal wasn't good at all. It was way too thin to actually create a good seal, and with water it would sort of start to tear. So when I lifted the cup, it came straight off the plate, not sticking at all, unlike the glass plate with the paper towel and the glass cup. It actually had, you felt some pressure there. The butter was another complete fail. It wasn't even worth showing because there was literally no sticking no matter what type of butter I used. It wasn't worth it. Okay, so now for the explanation on how this all happens. When you put the cup over the candle, the heat from the candle slowly heats up the cup, energizing the air. The candle then extinguishes due to a lack of oxygen, and the air inside the cup soon begins to cool down as the heat rises to the top of the cup. You'll be able to feel this right in the middle of the top when you're pressing down on the cup and waiting for it to extinguish. This is heat transfer, and there are three types of heat transfer: radiation, convection, and conduction. And in this experiment, we're only going to focus on radiation and conduction. So the heat from the flame energizing the air is radiation, and then through conduction, the air begins to cool and loses energy when the flame goes out. Now, what does this have to do with thermodynamics? Well, this heat added to the system inside the cup and change in internal energy is part of the first law of thermodynamics. Remember that equation I put at the beginning of the video? Well, it was important, like I told you. Q minus W is equal to delta U. Well, Q is the heat added, W is the work, and delta U is a change in internal energy. This is simplified to Q is equal to delta U. Now, the reason why I put work as 0 is because there's no change in volume. The system is isometric, and since there's no work at all the heat inside goes into changing the temperature. So you're probably wondering, what about the second equation? Well, here it is. PV equals nRT is for an ideal gas, and I'm going to assume air is an ideal gas. Now remember what I said, that through conduction, the air begins to lose energy and the temperature is decreased. So since temperature decreases, so does pressure. You can see that at a constant volume, the ideal gas law equation shows how pressure is directly proportional to temperature. Now, for the direct explanation for this ThermoMagic, since the pressure decreases, the pressure inside the cup is now less than atmospheric pressure, and this creates a sort of vacuum or suction cup-like atmosphere and effect. A more direct correlation in the order of my explanation is decreased energy is equal to lower temperature, which is equal to lower pressure. Quick summary of what I just explained, the three ways of heat transfer, and decreased energy is equal to lower pressure, which is equal to lower temperature. This creates a suction-like or vacuum type atmosphere. So it's able to lift things, and thus ThermoMagic. Thank you guys for watching.
I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me.